Just when America has reached a breaking point with division, visionary influencer Danni Benson's I'm Proud of You Sis bro movement taps into the pulse and heartbeat of a culture radically torn. But this loving mom's voice of reason and calm has received national recognition.
How do you balance having your children and always traveling with the Yankee organization?
When I became a dad, I said that I would always love like a mother.
I feel like I have to try certain things or act a different way because I know some people or some kids.
So join Danni Benson as she celebrates her special guests on her show and highlights their gifts and contributions to our world.
Hi everyone, my name is Danni Benson on I'm Proud of You Sis, featuring I'm Proud of You Bro. I have Kev here. So let's just get to it. So much has happened in the last couple of weeks. So we're going to talk about Super Bowl, Jayz, Beyonce, Club Shay Shay. We're going to talk about everything and catch you up if you missed anything. So everyone, please meet Kevin. Hey, Kev.
What is happening? Hey, happy post-Valentine's. I don't know if you celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yes, I do. I do celebrate
you
Valentine's
do?
Day.
I had a feeling. You look like the type that would celebrate Valentine's Day.
And I actually gave my kids Valentine's too. You know, in the morning I did little hearts, pancakes, the balloons, chocolate candy, because I had to teach. You know, you just have
teach
to
them how they should be treated.
Yes, that's it.
You're right.
What about you? What about you?
So I'm not the biggest fan of Valentine's Day or any other man-made Valentine's Day. I'm not even a big fan of my birthday. I used to be a big fan of my birthday up until the last few years when the numbers started getting too high for me to, really.
But you look amazing. You look amazing.
Thank you so much. I'm 800 years old. So no, but when it comes to Valentine's Day, I guess gift giving isn't my love language. It isn't at all. I actually do not like receiving gifts. I prefer experiences. If you're going to give me a gift, give me an experience, not an actual physical gift. I hate having just more inanimate objects to put places. Like, here's another thing for me to find a place to put it in. So I hate gifts.
What is your love language? So what is your love language?
My love language is words of affirmation. Please tell me I'm handsome. Tell me I look good. Tell me this fits tonight. Tell me I hosted that event great. Tell me that the point I made on the podcast was wonderful. Tell me I'm funny. I need words of affirmation. That's me. Words of affirmation. And I guess because I like experiences so much, quality time. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with you. So, but even though I'm not a Valentine's Day person, the person that I'm with is a lover of Valentine's Day. I mean, I feel like Cupid himself shot this woman with the arrow because she is all about it. The chocolates, the candies, the balloons, all that stuff. Danny, I'm sure you remember back in high school, going to high school in New York, when it's Valentine's Day, you get the candy, all the balloons, especially with your birthday balloons. How can me as a boyfriend show how much I love you by buying you a disgusting amount of balloons for you to walk around with all day that you carry as a badge of honor? Remember that? That was the 90s, the 2000s.
But maybe that's their love language.
That's their language. I guess so. I guess all New York City girls have the same love language for Valentine's Day and their birthday. Give me balloons.
I think it's all women in general. All women want to, if I know Valentine's Day is every single day. I know people have said that, but it's that day that is spotlighted. So you better not leave me with nothing because we're going to be arguing at the end of the night. Okay? That's all I got to say.
So I align more with that notion that Valentine's Day could be any day. You know, a few weeks ago, I took my girl out to this really fancy brunch, and all she was thinking was like, baby, what's going on? What's the occasion? I'm just like, I don't know. I just felt like doing this today. And for her, she just like, it had to be like a special day for it. But I'm just like, no, every day is special. We're here. We're breathing. The fact that we could breathe, we could inhale and exhale. You know how many people can't do that? Or how many people right now are on their last few breaths? So this entire thing is a present, That said, since I am with a person that loves Valentine's Day, I got to get with the program. So she travels a lot because she's also in events as I am myself, but she's on her stuff are a lot more serious, I have to say, because she's dealing with wealth management and whatnot. That said, she just flew back in today, and today's going to be our day that we celebrate Valentine's Day. Honestly, this entire weekend, we have a couple things planned. Today's going to be more so just like cuddling. That's her love language. They need to add that 6th love language because this girl likes to cuddle. I don't know.
Well, it's quality time. It entails into quality time.
I guess that in my mind, that's not quality. That's not quality. That's not quality.
Spooning each other. What do you mean? You
That's not quality, Danny. That's not quality time. You know what? You're right, though. You're probably right.
Wait.
You're right. I'm lying. You're right. It probably is quality time because when you have a brand new baby, they tell you the kangaroo method. Do you remember the kangaroo method?
You got to wrap the baby really tight, and the baby
not just wrap them tight, but wrap them tight, skin to skin,
skin to skin, so they get to know you.
And then, yes, correct. Yes,
yes.
That's
the baby
the kangaroo.
Knows, this is mama. This is mama. This is papa.
That's right.
Yeah.
Papa. That's right. Big
Papa,
Daddy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Big Daddy Holmes is in the house. Patrick Mahomes is stating he's really making a name for himself. This kid, he looks like he has a pretty bright future. He's pretty good at football.
When he got drafted, I followed him during college.
Yeah.
I was hoping like the New York Jets or Giants, because I'm a New York fan, got him. I was like, he's going to be a star, because I could tell a star from years before.
This drink is for Pat. This drink is for you, Pat.
Yo, you did it. It's a dynasty now. Kansas City. That game was so fire right to the very end.
It was
OT.
so. Seemed Danny. It seemed like it was scripted. It seemed like it was scripted.
No, it wasn't scripted.
But I'm not saying that it was, but it just seemed like the fairy tale moment of it all. That not only did they win, yes, their defense was amazing, but it's not that Kansas lost. It's that the Chiefs won. Like Mahomes took that game. Like you're watching his greatness on display on the biggest stage possible, and it was unbelievable.
It was good. Under 50 seconds, they got that touchdown. But that touchdown happened because the 49ers did an error. There was like a kick, and he kind of missed it, and Kansas City got it, and that was like a turnaround.
Danny, you know what's insane? So
what? Someone
asked me this a few years ago in regards to fitness, because they were so confused as to how are there so many people in fitness industry, and I'm not going to stay on the fitness industry right now, just to give you an example. How are there so many people that are in this industry, but they're unqualified to do the job that they got hired to do?
Mm-hmm.
So now you have a bunch of football players in the biggest moment of their lives. They're at the Super Bowl 58, 2024, and no one knows the rules to overtime. Danny, they didn't know the rules to overtime, which is so strange to me, because you guys have been playing this game your entire lives. Granted, the rules change depending on what division and what level you're on. You know, what they're doing in Pee Wee football is different from what they're doing in college. And in college is different from what they're doing in the NFL. But you're telling me out of all those players, that entire staff, the head coach, none of these guys knew the rules for overtime?
I think they were in the moment. It was a Super Bowl.
No, Danny, no. This is when you put on your professional cap. You know, like almost like if you're a comedian and you're not feeling good that day, but you got hired to be a headliner, so now you got to perform. You got to put on your professional cap. Like, oh, I'm not feeling great, but this money looks great in my bank account, so I'm gonna go do what I need to do. And those players have a very nice looking bank account.
Well, that is the difference between the greats and the not great.
Regular. You know, regular. It's not they're not great. They're just regular. Yeah. You know, they're regular great. They're regular great and then great. The people you're gonna remember decades from now. You know what I'm saying? The people that exactly. You know, the people that your daughter's husbands will be talking about.
I know, crazy, right?
Unless your daughter's talking about football, let me not even try to shade them.
But sure. you said it was rigged. You think it was rigged because it was a whole Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, the whole romance, like. She just won a Grammy last week or 2 weeks ago, and now he's winning the Super Bowl. It's like
doesn't seem a little too perfect.
You know
what? It seems too perfect. It seems way too perfect.
It's just, you know what? That's probably once in a lifetime perfect. Like it's probably never gonna happen like that again.
Ever.
Once in a lifetime perfect.
First of all, Taylor Swift is the biggest star in the world right now, and in terms of football. Because of Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce is probably the biggest NFL player in the world right now. Definitely the most recognizable. 100%. Now, that said, him being the most recognizable player, knowing that the cameras are going to be on him, what do you think was going through this man's mind when he started to yell at his coach on the sidelines? Do you remember that? That wasn't a good look for him.
I think he was in the emotion.
He was
like, keep me in, because he was letting it get to his head where he was effing up.
Yeah.
So I think he was taking accountability and saying, I know I'm effing up, but keep me in. So I think it was just the whole passion and emotional thing about the Super Bowl, I don't think it meant no disrespect at all. It was like in the moment.
I agree with you in there. What I don't like, and this is my fault, I could just not look at it if I don't want to, right? If we don't want to look at something, we can just not look at something, you're right? Going online and seeing people comment underneath all the different posts of Travis losing his cool and then saying like, disgusting. He should have been benched. That is gross. This is the real him. No, people. This is just a moment that happened. Like there's so many moments that happen throughout the day. To judge somebody off of one moment, which we tend to do in this culture, and it's so sickening.
Bad. And we're all human. We're all
Yes.
human, and we're gonna make mistakes.
100%.
But is that your character? Is that something he does all the time? No.
Right.
So you should judge on the pattern of a person's behavior versus if they make one mistake or maybe 2 times, and then all of a sudden you think this is the person. There's a difference between being human and red flags.
Yeah.
I think he was being a human.
Because there's you have your political pundit, the Bill O'Reilly, who can be very fiery. He's great at what he does.
I love
Bill. I love him too, but he can be very fiery. And he's gotten in trouble a couple of times just because of things that he said off the air, not realizing that the microphones were still hot. So this is one of those things where Travis, he knows the cameras are around. Everyone's in front of him, and he's still acting this way because he's feeling emotions. And the fact that everyone wants men to express emotions, but the moment they start expressing emotions, now we want to dial it back. We're like, no, we want you to express it, but express it like this.
Yes.
Do it like this, though. I see that you're doing it, but do it like this.
No.
You're a big guy, so you can only get small angry. You can't get big angry.
No.
You can't get big mad. Like
no.
That's insane.
They shouldn't, and this is why it's hard for men to express emotions, because it's not a playbook about expressing your emotions. You're going to express it based on who you are and how you want to express it.
I mean, they've tried coming up with playbooks, and then you have people that's how the culture created Derek Jackson. Remember him?
Oh, yeah.
This is what happens when you guys want men to express emotions. You got some sucker like Derek Jackson. Let me not call him a sucker. He's probably a very nice individual. I just personally, I wasn't a fan. He played his wife. He played himself.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you shouldn't play as yourself.
Women that's still following him after that whole.
Of course there are. Why wouldn't they be?
Because it's a lack of love. Like
because you know why? You know why? Because those same women will get upset at Travis Kelce for that 5 minutes that he was upset and still worship Derek Jackson, who has shown a repeated habit of being this person. He's shown you literally. I forgot who said it, but we all say it now. Whenever someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah.
The first time. Don't wait for the second or third, because now you believe them the first time.
Yeah.
But you know what? I couldn't be that mad at Travis Kelce because Usher Raymond had me dancing.
Yeah. You know what I wish he did? I wish he did. Did he do Confessions?
He didn't do Confessions, but he did Superstar. He did Superstar, and that's my jam. You are my suit. I love it.
No, my jam is My Boo.
My Boo. So I gotta tell you, the girl I was dating, oh my God, here we go. We started the Danni concert. Free tickets, everybody. You get a ticket. Now, this is an unpopular opinion, but I hated that song. Not because it was a bad song, but because the girl I was with at the time loved it so much, she called it our song, and she would play it over and over and over. I'm like, okay, there's only so much A keys I can take. You know what I'm saying? And
I remember back in the day when we used to all have our songs.
Yes.
When you're in a relationship.
Everybody had a couple. Yeah, you had to have your song. Okay, how's this real if we don't have a song?
I know.
We're not together. You don't go with me. Do you go with me or not? We gotta have a song. That was our song, My Boo. I hated it. But listen, everyone's talking about that performance though. Your boy Usher, he does it again. Mr. Steal Your Girl.
No, he did it with Elisa.
Don't leave your girl around me. True play for real. That's my for real.
Yeah, he did it. But you know
he said, "Come here, Alicia."
But I think that was their professionalism.
Yes.
I don't think he's. They're doing the play. He's fine. He's sexy, and there's another woman in his arms. Like that's what we. And then women love competition, so they wanted more.
That's not how the world. That's not how the world sees it. These people, these kids out here, these keyboard warriors. They get online and they go and type up, "Want to be my girl." Swiss Beats better say something.
He
Swiss,
did.
you got 24 hours to respond.
He did respond.
You know, what did he say?
He said this was a beautiful moment. They are both professionals.
Yeah.
I'm not insecure. My wife is right next to me now. Like, let's enjoy this Usher moment with Alicia Keys as opposed to bringing something out that's negative when it's really not bothering us at all. That's basically
And you know
what he said.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I've never looked at Alicia Keys like that before, but my God, that girl was killing that red outfit.
She was killing in that outfit. She was so gorgeous.
She
like
looked good.
Always.
I loved it.
Aged at like one bit.
At all.
Amazing with the cape on. I love the
I
red.
love the cape. I love the red.
Valentine's Day feeling. Like, you know, it's the weekend. It's Valentine's Day Super Bowl. And I love the hug. It was so genuine. They were both laughing. You could tell they're very good friends because it felt so real. You know what I mean? And it was amazing. I just love the Super Bowl. I love everything about it.
Danny, could you believe that some people are calling Usher Raymond's performance boring?
But you know what? I did. You know what? 123 million.
You fell asleep?
People.
What happened?
No, I was out partying. I was in the club.
Oh my gosh.
I needed to go and just like have drinks, have fun with friends.
Yeah.
But 123 million people watched it. I felt like there was so much going on. He was trying to do every song. So you had to like pay attention because you went like this.
Yeah.
He changed his outfit.
Yes.
He changed his outfit like I think 3 times. He started with the white.
Now White was fired. I mean, he took the coat off right away. That was just the intro. That was his James Brown moment. You know, James Brown would have somebody come and bring the cape out and take it back off or whatever. That was his James Brown moment.
You know what?
You know
It's New York Fashion Week this week, and I think a lot of like fashion designers are gonna bring the cape back because the cape was kind of like fire. You know, it's like that's something they haven't really repeated, but like that cape look makes you look like a king, makes you look like a queen. Like it makes you.
All he was missing was his. The only thing he was missing was his crown slanted ever so slightly to the side, you know. But I love the intro. People think that the first half of it was boring, and the second half of it got better. I liked it from the beginning to the end. But I'm also, I can be a prisoner of the moment. But this was my moment. This was from my time. I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, so I knew Usher. I know where he was at 7 o'clock. You know, I knew he was at his drop top.
7 o'clock on the dot.
Drop top.
They don't even have R&B like they used to. I mean,
I gotta be. It's not like that though. It's not like that.
But it's not like that because I found out that that's how men knew how to love. If they weren't taught at home, they would listen to R&B music. That's why
those men was talking. They were talking.
How to smooth your girl, how to get through an argument, how to make her happy. It was like in all the songs, like. That's why I miss R&B because now I think music is so rough when it comes to the male and women interaction. Oh, you mean you don't like Sexy Red? No. My pee hole is pink. My booty hole is brown. I'm trying to remember these lyrics. It sounds like it should be in a Hallmark Valentine's Day card. It sounds beautiful. I mean, it just seems like we're going backwards as a society because those things are personal things that you do in your bedroom and not talk about in music where kids are even listening to it. Like asking, what is she talking about? What's a peephole? What's this? You know what they have to bring back? They have to bring back the Next formula. Now, what do I mean by Next formula? I mean Next. Remember the group, the R&B group Next? Yes. They had this song called Too Close. You were probably partying to this song. You were partying to this song for like 2 decades before you realized what they were talking about. Hard for me, baby. Listen. No, I know what it meant. Like, you know, back in something the day, about to poke through. Back in the day, our generation danced and we sweated our hair. We were on the dance floor. There was no cell phones. There was no like, oh, I gotta take a selfie. We were in there on the dance floor partying, and sometimes when you would dance too close to a guy, I used to be like, "Oh shoot, all right, I feel a little poke there. I feel a little poke." Let me speak for the men. Can I speak for the men? So, in the beginning of our, adolescent careers, we don't have a lot of control over what's happening in our bodies, and just to forget grinding. That's one thing, but just the thought of grinding sends all of our blood rushing to the southern regions. So now we're in a dancing atmosphere. We're in somebody's basement.
there's some Beanie Man song on, you know. Na 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 na. Killing what they now. Some song. So I was Mr. Vegas, and then this girl that you've been feeding for God knows how long says she'll dance with you. She turns around and bends over, and now you're already looking, and you're trying to calm yourself down. Now you're doing the Greek. Now you're doing the Greek alphabet again. You're saying whatever you need to say. You know, you're repeating the roster of the Yankees in your mind just to take everything away from there. But then she starts moving, and then you're moving back with her. And then y'all in sync, and the rhythm is taking over, and now it's gone. It's gone.
Those were the days. Oh my God, it was chivalry at its best. I feel like men used to buy drinks, and men bought it knowing that they didn't have to stay with you the whole night.
Yeah,
they just bought it to have the conversation when the drink was over. Hey, can I have your number? Oh my God, I miss those days, like the true interactions of relationships. It wasn't like in an app. It was actually face to face. It was like, oh my God. I pray that it goes right back to that.
I don't see it coming back. I don't see it coming back. Just like a lot of the cameos at the Super Bowl. I love seeing them, but I don't see them coming back to do their own thing.
It's only one time.
What was your favorite cameo of the Super Bowl? Because Usher brought out a couple people. I know we spoke about Alicia Keys, but he also brought out Little John. He brought out Ludacris.
Her.
He brought out her.
The guitar.
So I'm hearing. So I'm hearing that she wasn't even playing.
She was playing.
I heard that she wasn't playing, Danny.
That's what I heard. And you know what's so cool about her?
What?
Like decades ago, I think she actually like sang at the pregame of the Super Bowl something. Yes. So it was great to circle back and have her come on as an adult. And let me tell you something about her. She's very musical. She's very talented. Yeah. I doubt that she would come on stage and not know how to play the guitar.
No. I didn't say that she didn't. No, listen to me now. I didn't say that she didn't know how to play the guitar. I said that she wasn't playing live. And I think it's because the Super Bowl, the NFL itself and CBS has a bunch of different like rules, some like sort of like, you know, yellow red tape to cut through.
Oh, you know what happened after the Janet Jackson thing? Remember with Justin Timberlake?
Probably. Well, how could I forget about that?
Well, that's what happened.
I mean, Justin's name has been in the news quite a bit because of Britney Spears and the book that she just came out and all the things that we're finding out about who Justin was in that relationship, which I have to say, I don't like judging people by these moments in their lives, just like how we spoke about Travis Kelce in this one moment. And I get that when it came to Justin, there was a bit more of just a moment, but it was his relationship with this young lady that we shouldn't be privy to. I don't want to know about his relationship with this woman. I get that she's famous, he's famous. It didn't work out. Got it. Don't care. I don't care. but there are some serious things.
But you know what it is? Everyone is into selling books, selling stories, trying to make money, trying to capitalize on controversy. So she knew that statement. Basically, the statement that she put up was that, you know, Justin Timberlake forced her to have an abortion. She knew that would sell. She knew that would sell books because we're in a world of negativity works. No one wants to hear about the Pollyanna relationships. Everybody wants to hear the dirt. I want to know the dirt because we live in a very negative society where the dirt gets more play than the positive, loving stuff. A book. You're going to have to put dirt in the book. That's the only way that it's going to work.
It's and I don't think that's what she was even going at. She could have just been wanting to tell her story, and it's her telling the truth. And obviously it is the truth because Justin and his camp, they haven't refuted anything. You know, they're just not happy about it. Just like with Cat Williams, all the stuff that he spoke, no one refuted it. No one's just happy about it. But what I don't like is that, yes, he did something that was wrong, but this was something that happened like 20, 30 years ago. Nothing. Has he done it a bunch of more times? Are there a bunch of other women saying he's done it? Like, has he moved on and now is happily married and has children and has been living his life? Can we just judge him off of who he is right now in this moment? Because we liked him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what it is? Like, people have to understand everyone is human and human things happen to human people. And 100%. At the time, you know, it could have been a choice. It could have been what was best. It could have. We don't know the time and the era when this happened. Like back then, you know, pro-choice was the thing. And I'm not going to judge a man. I'm not going to judge a man for wanting to, because sometimes I feel bad for men because I feel that it is a woman's choice but the men get stuck with the choice because they don't have a choice. So I get the whole, like, we feel bad for Britney, but I also feel that men should also have a choice in that decision also, because yes, because they both did it together, and it's sad because they both don't get to have a choice of the after effect. That's all I'm saying.
And just to piggyback off of what you said, in that situation, for a lot of men, they don't have a choice. And then when that choice is taken away from them, granted, a lot of people say that, well, once the man puts his thing inside the woman, his choice gets taken away. And if that's the type of life you live and that's how you want to lead or even teach your children to be, now you're going to have an issue when that woman is with the man who doesn't want to keep this child. And she made a choice to keep it, but that wasn't his choice. And now she's going to struggle to raise that child because of this choice that she made, which it could have been different. And I get that, you know, sometimes things happen and you never know what you're going to do in that moment. You don't know how you're going to react to hearing your baby's heartbeat for the first time. But you also have to understand that it's not just about your kid. It's about you, the man you made it with, and the economy around you. Because this one child is going to affect the entire state of affairs of the economy around them, from the school to the lunches to the other family members. Like, it's going to affect everything. Everyone always just thinks in this one moment, like, this is for my kid, it's for my kid. But if you're doing it just for your kid, then you're forgetting about everything else that your kid's going to need. And your kid's going to need another person raising them. So if this person is not, 10 toes down with you, you may want to rethink other options. But anyway, that's said, Justin will bounce back. I mean, people are already starting to not talk about it. I mean, you know what's one thing he has that's going for him? He has money. With enough money, you can make all your problems go away. Yeah. Look at Puffy. We don't talk about him anymore. The year started off with a bang with Puffy, and now we don't hear anything about the situation. Yeah. So Justin's gonna be just fine. He's gonna be great. I hope he doesn't feel as slighted as Beyonce for not winning a Grammy for best album of all time.
Of the year. I know. And Jayz,
I hope he doesn't feel slighted.
Jayz had to say something about that because she's
Did he though?
One artist.
Danny, did he though? Did he though? Did he have to say anything?
I mean, I think.
Go ahead. How did you feel about it?
You know what? Kanye started it with the MTV Awards when Taylor Swift won, and he came on stage and said Beyonce deserved it. And Jay-Z and Beyonce didn't say anything, but I think they finally understood, like, yo, Kanye was right, because now she's won the most Grammys, and she still has not won Album of the Year. But it is right for him to stand up for his wife, even though I didn't like when he said young lady, because I'm like, hold up. What is going on here? This is your wife. Why aren't you calling her by her name? Why are you saying young lady?
It's already bad enough that he's like 10, 15 years older than this woman, than this young lady. It's weird that he called her young lady. How many years older is Jay-Z than Beyonce anyway? Because
I would say at least 12.
You think 12? I feel like it's maybe 10.
You think it's 10? Oh, okay. So if she's 42, you think he's 52?
Well, we're going to find out right now.
Oh, you're going to Google?
He is. Oh, you're right. You said 12. Did you recently look this up? Because how did you get the number right on that?
You know what? I just go by instinct. It's instinctually, I was like, you know how they say your first answer is always the right answer?
That is. Unless you're wrong as hell.
No, but you know what it is? If I'm wrong as hell, I just shut up. Because I have this thing about me that filters. I'd be like, not sure. But when I'm right about something, I just go all in because I know it's the right answer.
Listen, this is how I feel about this whole Jay-Z situation with him.
Tell me.
First and foremost, he was going on stage to pick up the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. So this award was to recognize Sean Carter, aka Jay-Z, and all he's done for music with his catalog of music. Follow me now. I'm saying his. I'm talking about him because that's what the award is about. It's about Jay-Z. Nowhere in this award or it going to him and him being the first recipient is Beyonce Knowles mentioned at all, because she shouldn't be. This is about Jay-Z. So I already was a little taken aback by him starting his acceptance speech for the award going to him for his catalog of music by complaining about what the award show hasn't done for one specific person. I see if he was speaking about it from a color perspective. Look at all these talented Black people we have. Yet, when it comes to this very special award, so few of them have won it. That's one thing. He could have definitely spit it out that way. But the fact that he chose to go at it from an angle of one billionaire complaining about another billionaire and this inanimate object that he apparently doesn't even care about. Wasn't he just drinking his alcohol out of it?
Yeah, and now, cup,
and now all of a sudden he thinks his wife needs a 33rd or a 34th one. You know, it's just like, Jake, you can't have your sippy cup and drink out of it too. You know,
basically you can't have your cake and eat it too. But I feel that when you label them the king of the queen of the music industry, sometimes people get to feel entitled.
Oh, entitlement was written all over that man's face.
Entitlement, like she got 34 or whatever she had, and she deserved each and every one of them.
100%.
Why haven't you given her album of the year? It's like, you know, so it's like a sense of entitlement. I felt where it's like you're not happy until you have everything. But sometimes, even if you are the king or queen, you're not gonna get everything you want.
I gotta tell you though, that as much as I don't like paying attention to the status quo, the general public did not like what your boy said. I screenshotted some of my favorite comments. Somebody wrote, he ruined the vibe of a good night and his wife looked embarrassed. The fact that Beyonce and Taylor Swift are friends and he'd go up there and essentially pull another Kanye is insane. So what's interesting about that comment to me is that I don't think Jay-Z was necessarily directing that towards Taylor Swift. I think he was just directing it towards the Grammys. Everyone made it about Taylor Swift just because she ended up winning that year.
I think he knew she was gonna win. I think they know who's gonna win or not.
They probably are privy to the actual winners, especially when you are at Jay-Z and Beyonce status. You know, but
you want to know why? Because they left right after that speech.
I heard. You told me that. Yeah, that's right.
I was like, so they already knew. I don't know if she was nominated for Album of the Year, but they didn't even say. He just got his award and he just said his speech and then they just left.
All of it was weird. All of it was just strange.
It's
definitely. Look, somebody wrote, I think he went a little too far. It's okay to speak your mind for a moment, but don't get carried away. Just thank people and be grateful you won a Grammy. You know, you made a good point when we were talking I loved it, even though you didn't love it. When he laughed and said, I'm sorry, I tell the truth when I'm nervous.
Because I said,
you didn't like it.
Oh, you're not telling the truth when you're not nervous? Like, so what am I supposed to believe when you're always serious and have interviews and like, you're not nervous? So are you just playing the game? I mean, he could be playing the game and saying what needs to be said because he is a billionaire and you don't get there. Look at Kanye. Kanye, you know, said an anti-Semitic remark, said a couple, and he lost. He was a billionaire and lost almost everything. So I guess you got to play the game. You know. You know
what? Listen, I hope this doesn't get me canceled. I mean, I'm not anyone anyway, so I can't be canceled. But as much as people may want to disagree with Kanye or not fully agree, rather, with everything that he says, the last thing he said wasn't that far from the truth, seeing as what happened. He said that, you know, there's a certain type of people that runs everything, and he spoke about them. I'm not going to go in about it because I'm not going to have people out here repeating what I said or just using this clip. But the moment he said that, those same people that he spoke about took away his stuff. So it's just kind of like
the powers to be was like, you're not going to talk about us out loud in public and embarrass us, so we're going to show you.
Like, you're Yeezus?
Well, basically, they let people, they put the fear in people that you can't. I don't know if America is any longer freedom of speech because now it's like if you say something that's against the norm, I don't really see freedom of speech.
Danny. Nothing has changed. It's just a bit. There's a magnifying glass over it. Like
there's
the whole idea.
Yeah.
The whole idea of freedom of speech. We know it's freedom of speech within reason. Like you still can't go to the movie theater and yell out fire because you know if people get hurt. Now you're liable for everyone that got hurt. You know you can't yell out Bob on an airplane, as we learned in Meet the Fockers with Ben Stiller. So there's certain things you still can't do. And I'm starting to realize one of the unwritten rules is, especially if you're in entertainment or a public figure, you best not speak out against the chosen people. You best not. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. You know, oh wait, I'm gonna leave.
Well, you know what it is? It's playing the game. I know it sounds weird when I say it, but I've always known early on in life that there's things that you could say and there's things that you cannot say. And I understand. I feel like Kanye thought he was the king because he even said it. He was like, I could say that. Nothing's gonna happen to me. I could say this. So he had the sense of entitlement already.
Yeah.
And someone they humbled him real quick and they reminded him, like, no, you can't say that.
But you know why he felt like that, Danny? Because it's kind of our fault, the people. We gave Kanye so much freedom and so much love. Think about when he interrupted Taylor Swift at the Grammys. This is back in 2009. This is 15 years ago. So that means this man he's been just off the hinges for almost 2 decades now. So of course, eventually he's going to go off the deep end.
But you know what? I don't want to say off the hinges because people do have mental health issues.
Okay, and he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, and I don't want to call him crazy because sometimes the crazier you are, the more creative you are. It's just a way of controlling your crazy. You know what I mean? Because artists are artists for a reason. There's something about them that is on a higher frequency than the regular normal people. That's what makes them amazing, you know, and the way they think. But sometimes they have to control the other side too. You know, they can't let it escape because they might do it too much, and then people might call you crazy.
Well, it's a balance, right? It's definitely a balance. I love.
Yes, that's the balance.
There's an interview that Dave Chappelle did years ago. This interview's so old, it looks like it's taken from like a VHS tape. He's on a talk show and he's talking about the comedian Martin Lawrence, because Martin Lawrence had recently at that time had like this
crazy episode.
He did.
Yes, I remember.
You remember this? This is back in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And Dave is there at the late night talk show talking to this person because this person is talking about Martin, like how he might be crazy and this and that. And then Dave takes a second and he goes, why is it that anytime we don't understand someone, we just we rope them in that category that they're crazy? And it's unfair because once you do that, it just becomes very dismissive. And that's what we do with these people. We kind of dismiss them, just like, oh, they're crazy. It's like the nuts.
Crazy uncle. It's like, you know, you always have like a so-called
they're
crazy
nuts. Let them go.
Family member, right?
Right.
So at Thanksgiving, when they start doing something crazy, we're like, oh,
there goes old crazy Uncle Ed.
Yeah, but you know what? We should really start talking about mental health because you can't label everyone with the word crazy.
I mean, when it came to Kanye West, I think we probably should have stopped him around the time he started calling himself Jesus. We should have stopped
then. He thinks he's a god.
Yeah, but anyway, here's one of my favorite quotes from what the public felt about Jay-Z and his wonderful little speech to his bae, Beyonce. Jay-Z was out of line. He embarrassed his wife and daughter. Keep in mind, his daughter was right there, right next to him as he accepted the Dr. Dre Impact Award, you know? Which I thought was really interesting that he brought his daughter up. I mean, we all know Blue. She went on tour with her mama for Renaissance. And we've been hearing, you know, doing her thing. I saw this one. You've been seeing her dance this the entire 2023. One of my Facebook followers said, I'm tired of watching Blue do a horrible rendition of The Robot. When does she go back to school? I was crying.
Blue is like 10, 11.
Yeah.
Are you like 10, 11? Like, stop.
Yeah, I know. Adults are just, it's tough because it's so difficult because once celebrities put their children out, it's like now they're like putting them out for offering. Now,
which is why we had a discussion.
We haven't seen the kids. I was talking to you. I forgot that. I forgot.
The girls.
So I forgot. I completely forgot. So just to let you people out there know, I completely forgot that Jay-Z and Beyonce had more children. I thought it was just Blue. I completely forgot they had twins, Rumi and Sir.
Rumi and Sir. Sir and Rumi.
So now when Danny and I were talking about it the other day, I was just kind of, you know what? I've never seen these twins. And then the Super Bowl happened, and I saw Rumi. You mentioned to me how Rumi's out, but we don't see Sir. And then you told me why you think we don't see Sir. Why don't you think
I think we don't see Sir because you just made a point. that you don't want to put your child out there to be harmed. I remember there was a time that Blue was out there and social media would rip Blue into pieces and hurt Blue and say, comb her hair. She looks like a hot mess. You're rich. And as a mom and, you know, and as a dad, that hurts, you know, and I understand why celebrities protect their kids. But in my honest opinion, I'm not saying this is true. I feel, you know, Sir might have a little bit of.
Oh, we just lost Danni. As soon as she's about to drop that line.
I'm here.
What a
Sorry.
cliffhanger. Go ahead, Danni. And she's back. Go. We're at the edge of our seats.
He might have like a little bit of autism.
Okay.
He might be on a spectrum, or you know, he might be, you know, have maybe ADHD, hyper, or ADHD. You know, not high. There might be some because they're twins.
Something's
right?
going on with them.
Sometimes, especially with twins, one baby might get more of the nutrients and everything than the other. But I noticed it during Super Bowl because we talked about it before Super Bowl. And when I saw Jayz with Blue and Rumi, and I'm like, okay, why would your little son be there? It's a Super Bowl. It's football. It's sports. He was not there.
No.
So I think they're protecting him because and the word is not he's off, because kids on the spectrum are brilliant. I just want to say that. But society is mean.
Society is off.
Is mean. And I don't think Jayz and Beyonce want another episode of what happened with Blue.
Right.
With what would happen to Sir. So I think they protect him and leave him out of the public view.
They've been good parents.
Yeah.
Very good parents.
Yeah, because if he did something funny, they might call him crazy.
Yeah.
Might, you know, but I hope one day if he is on a spectrum, or he has like ADHD, or he has autism, or is autistic, that Beyonce and Jayz would be a platform for that, because a lot of parents are suffering. It's not even worth suffering. It's just you just have to be.
It's a lot.
Do more. It's a lot of work. It's a lot
to go through. There's a client, as you know, I train clients in fitness, and I might be taking on a new client. It's a young lady who I've seen work out. By young lady, I mean she's a bit older. I said young lady.
Oh, you sound like Jayz now. You sound like Jayz. Young lady.
So this young lady who's damn near 50 years old, she's been working with this trainer, and I see them all the time because I'm in there training people as they're training, and she's thinking about switching up. She asked my client for my number to contact me, and my client told me a little bit about her, about how her life is a bit stressful. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what's in her life that's stressful? I'm sure I'll talk with her more, but if you can let me know some things beforehand, that'll be great. And she let me know, she goes, well, first things first, she has 2 kids with autism. So having one is hard enough, but having 2, a lot of your life is you're pouring into them because no one else is going to be there for them. You know, there's a young lady in my family that unfortunately is on the spectrum. Her case is a bit different than the average case. In her situation, my family member, this is back when I must have been like 2-3 years old. So I found out this story when I was around like 15 or so. But when my very good family member was pregnant, the doctors didn't know she was pregnant. They thought she had a tumor. Danni, they gave her tumor medication to kill the tumor.
Turns out did she sue for malpractice?
She did. She not only did she sue, it inspired her. She's a doctor now.
Wow.
But that said, her daughter needs around the clock care. Her daughter is now, my little cousin's 32 years old, and she's in a home. You know, she's in a home. Luckily, we do have, my mom actually works. My mom got a job specifically at that home just so she could have family. The people at work there don't know that my mom is related to it.
Good. Well, good, because
you know,
she has an angel. She has your mom.
Yeah, but you know, you know, when it comes to those situations, those homes, they don't treat those patients
well.
bad. They don't treat them the best.
My dad wanted out of the nursing home. My dad was like, "Get me out of here." And I'm not going to say every nursing home is hard. I just think it's hard being away from home and I think family. And you know, you think you're going to a nursing home, you're going to get like care like every second of the day. And it doesn't work like that because they have other patients to attend to. So it gets kind of hard for someone who is in a nursing home or is in a rehabilitation place, or like you said, is that your niece?
It's my cousin, my
Oh,
little cousin. And she's been like that my entire life. You know, she's never been
because
like
you know
there.
why those tumor? Because you know when you're pregnant, you're not supposed to take any meds.
Of course.
So I don't know how the doctor made that.
How they missed that? I mean, this was the late '80s, so it's not like it was a long time ago, but it wasn't the 1900s. Things were different back then. Things were very different. But you know, one thing I've noticed in entertainment, and I'm noticing it with not only new talent, but it seems like it's happening with old talent. People aren't speaking up for themselves in terms of getting what's due to them, and they're waiting for years later to claim everything back and hope that the world will be on their side. The reason why I bring that up now is because of this recent interview I watched with comedian, Oscar-winning actress Monique. She was on Club Shay Shay. You know what? You know how much we love Club Shay Shay. Yeah. She was on there, and I don't know what's going on at Club Shay Shay.
Shout out to Shannon Sharp.
Let me tell you, Danny, comedians are going out there and spilling their guts to this man. I don't know if it's the muscles or the liquor he's giving them, but everybody's feeling very just truthful on Club Shay Shay. It's got to be the liquor, right? It's got to be the liquor.
Babies tell the truth, and drunk people tell the truth.
What's interesting about Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay, is that they released 3 episodes so far in 2024 as of today, February 15th. The first one, as we all know, is Cat Williams, which is huge. I mean, that one went viral, blew
that
it up.
Broke the internet. That broke the
internet. Got people talking about Steve Harvey. Got people talking about the business, Cedric the Entertainer, Ricky Smiley, Mike Epps. And then afterwards, he had Usher on. I don't know if you know this, but Usher was on. But Usher is not controversial. There's no competition going with Usher. And then on top of that, Usher's been in the business. Usher's part of it. You know, like it's like Usher's part of it.
Yes. How to play the game.
He's media trained. So he's not gonna say anything crazy on Club Shay Shay. So then the third interview was Monique's interview.
Really? That was the third?
That's the third.
No, because it was wow.
I'm telling you, Cat Williams, Usher,
wow,
Monique. Wow. And now, again, you probably didn't even know about the Usher one. So you knew about Cat Williams, obviously. You knew about Monique. It looks like he found his sweet spot. You know, finding these popular public figures that made it, but are still on the outskirts of Hollywood. You know, Hollywood isn't, they aren't calling these people's phones because some people may be, quote unquote, difficult to work with, which we realized wasn't true. That Monique exposed that wasn't true. Tyler Perry even admitted that he said that to ruin her reputation, and she recorded him. She has audio of him saying this out loud, which is just like, oh, come on, Tyler. I'm a Tyler Perry fan. I grew up watching a lot of his stuff, but she had a lot of bad things to say about Tyler, how Tyler's never apologized for anything he's done. I mean, because she was blacklisted. Like, these things are real. People always think like, well,
but you have to be careful. But you got to play the game.
You got to play the game. So, but Danny, is that fair though? Even though I agree with you.
We play the game in real life. Is that fair?
You're right. You do it with your relationship. You do it with your kids. With every relationship you have, business.
You do it at work.
Physical. Yes. Yes.
You do it with clients. Like,
yep.
I'm not saying it's lying, but you know, there's some things that it's better left unsaid.
Yeah, it's professionalism, and she definitely crossed that line. She's talking about 2 big, ginormous public figures, and not just for the culture, for the world.
Tyler Perry.
Like, he has the biggest studio out of any black person right now. Lee Daniels.
Lee Daniels too, but I think Lee Daniels, they had a powwow, and I think they're good.
They're good now.
They're good now, but
currently you're fine.
You can't go against the Giants. The Giants know everyone. The Giants just make a phone call, be like, nope, don't mess with her no more. I mean, this is the game.
That's it. You're dealing with somebody like Oprah, who is a black female billionaire. All 3 of those things are hard to do. To be black is hard to do. To be a female is hard to do. And now you had the audacity to make it and make a name for yourself, and now you're a billionaire? You think some comedian from the DMV area is about to mess me up?
Mess my money up?
Because you think you look like me, I'm supposed to be banging with you? Because we both fat, black, older women? Get out of here, girl.
But wait a minute. But Taraji
You always call her Taraji. This ain't the Taj Mahal. Taraji P. Henson.
Taraji.
You better put some respect on baby boy's name.
But why was she allowed to say something? Right next to Oprah.
So can I say this?
And everyone had her back.
Danny, can I say this? And Monique said it too. It's always about the messenger, never about the message. It's always going to be about the messenger. If that message, let's say Ike Turner, who famously domestically abused the famous, rest in peace, Tina Turner. Let's say now this is 20 years removed. He's no longer with her. We all know that he's not with her. Both of these people are now, they're both deceased as I speak. But let's say he was alive and he decides to go and speak out on a campaign about domestic abuse and why you shouldn't do it. Why am I going to listen to this man, Ike Turner, who famously beat this famous woman over and over again? And now you're going to tell me about domestic abuse? It's the same way I was confused at Think Like a Man and how everyone just ate this book up from Steve Harvey. Now, I'm not putting Steve Harvey down. I'm not even putting him down right now. I've always been a Steve Harvey fan. I grew up on the Steve Harvey show.
I have that book, by the way. I have it.
You do? So, and I'm sure it was great. I'm sure he has great advice, but why would I listen to a man who's been divorced a number of times about being not divorced?
I guess he wasn't following what he was preaching.
Like, why am I listening to this man?
But here we go again. That's being human.
So is the messenger. So is the messenger. People like Taraji. Let's be real. People like Taraji.
Yeah, they do.
Black people love Taraji. White people like Taraji. They think she's cool, but black people love. They put a statue of Taraji P. Henson up right now if they could. They love Taraji. After Baby Boy solidified Taraji's status amongst black people, period. Just like how The Bodyguard solidified Kevin Costner's status with black women.
Whitney Houston.
No, Whitney Houston was already Whitney Houston. And don't get me wrong, Kevin Costner was already Kevin Costner, but once he did Bodyguard, when it came to black women, they were just like, oh, that's the white boy I want. Him right there. Right there. One, he's a good-looking man already, but two, I mean, he's here literally saving Whitney Houston, which was like everyone's favorite singer at the time. So yeah, that's solidified Kevin Costner.
Too. That's
really?
Too. And George Clooney.
What did you have a specific movie that turned it for you, for those guys and you? Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Is there anyone?
I think it was Ocean 12.
Oh, Ocean 12.
Yeah.
12. I mean, that was great. That was just a fun.
That was a fun movie, but they seemed so cool. Like,
super swaggy. Yeah.
Super swaggy, cool. They weren't corny. There was they had a swag about them. Just a swag.
It's dope.
You know what I mean?
But dial it back. Bring it back to Monique. And so it's back to the messenger. The messenger. So I get that Taraji P. Henson spoke out against the film she did with Oprah, The Color Purple. I guess she wasn't accommodated properly, and she decided to speak out against it, which was great. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't like when people speak out about it, but I get that you have to. You have to speak out about it because then it's not going to get discussed. They asked Vivica A. Fox about it, and she shared her 2 cents, and she said,
I don't have a problem here.
She didn't have that problem because what Vivica A. Fox did that a lot of other actors and actresses do in Hollywood? After a while, they're not just actors. They learn how to direct, how to produce. They're doing other things. Like, girl, we ain't trying to just act.
Yeah.
Start writing. Get your own projects.
It's called multiple streams of income.
Yes, get your own projects. Monique, you know what Monique said? Monique said, if I was white, he's talking to Shannon Sharp, if I was white, what would they call me? And Shannon being himself, he just responded, he goes, wealthy? And she goes, no, Melissa McCarthy. The actress, the comedic actress, she's done a number of movies. One of my favorites has to be when she did Tammy. A lot of people know her from Bridesmaids with Kirsten Wiig from SNL, which was phenomenal. But now, this is why I didn't like when Monique brought up Melissa McCarthy. One, why is Melissa McCarthy catching us straight right now? Monique compared her saying that we both had sitcoms. They both went 5 years. We both did this, but here I am doing this and she's doing that. But you're leaving out a very important part, Monique. Melissa McCarthy created her own projects. She didn't wait for somebody to come and say, hey, I got this part for you. She created her own things. And now Not only did she create her own things, which is giving her work, is giving her people work. And one of her people is her husband, who's also a comedic actor. And if you watch any Melissa McCarthy movie, any one of them, pick one, go watch it. Her husband is in it. Her husband is in every single movie that she does because she's putting her people on. Very similar to an Adam Sandler with his production company, Happy Madison. He came out with a number of movies underneath Happy Madison. Big Daddy.
But let me ask you a question, though. Do you think they just have more opportunities?
Because they're white and they get it? So that's a whole other thing. You know, that's when it goes back to like the beginning and not just them as professionals in their 30s trying to make it. It's about the 30 years that happened before that. Right?
Yeah.
The people that you've accumulated around you before that, right? Those are your resources. So even though I'm saying, hey, Melissa McCarthy funded her own thing, where did she get the money to fund her own thing?
Investors. She was around the right people.
But to your point, Danny, that's why it's so important to play the game. If you know you have to work harder than this person, that means you got to play that game better than that person. Yeah. So once you realize that, because Monique was talking about the Parkers, and I get that she was just given the wrong information. And at that time in the 90s, the internet isn't just around where you can just look things up. You can't even look things up right now because you have to know what you're looking for.
You have to know what you're looking for, yeah.
So she was just unaware that with her being on the Parkers, for people who haven't watched the interview, for those of you who have, you know what I'm about to say, but she worked on the Parkers, and this show was a pretty big success. And with any sitcom or TV show, what you want to get to is one specific word. And Monique brought it up a bunch of times. Syndication. Once you're in syndication,
because you get the revenue. You get the revenue.
Not only do you get the one, yes, you're getting the revenue, but it's what you get, what you're getting revenue on. Once you're in syndication, is now you're not just getting played in one market, meaning you're not getting played in one city. You're getting played in all the big cities at these different times, and you're getting money off of each of these different places that it's being filmed in. So now with Monique, and I noticed this when I was at the Wendy Williams show because they would have Wendy Williams do this all the time. For those of you who don't know, can't remember, I used to warm up that talk show back when season 1 and season 2, when it first came to fruition. They would have Wendy shoot promos where the audience is still there. Everyone's quiet and she's there and she's talking to the camera. Hey, Chicago, see you at 10 a.m.
Oh,
do these things. So they have Monique. I'm listening to Monique and I'm here wondering, like, how does she not know to do this? How does she not know to do this? And
but there is a thing. We'll talk about it on the next segment. There is a thing called gatekeeping.
No. There is, but let me break down where Monique messed up because. So
where did she mess up?
Once she brought up that she didn't know that they were in syndication, but then she said she knew they were in syndication. She brought up she was unaware that they were being played in syndication, but then she also brought up how they had a recording these promos where she's saying, things like, hey, Orlando, catch me at this time. It's just kind of like, you don't know you're being played across the country, but you're doing promos for all these cities across the country? I didn't understand that point.
So maybe Monique has to start taking accountability, but everyone, we will be right back to do the next segment of I'm Proud of You Sis, featuring I'm Proud of You Bro. Yay to Kev. Yay. Let's go. I'm waiting for Bobby. All right.